Seth? Mom? Dad? Okay, this is a joke, right? This is because I didn't sit down to dinner, right? Okay, Seth, did you put Mom and Dad up to this? You did, didn't you? Seth? Okay, I got it. This is funny. This is really funny. Ha ha. Right? That's it. Okay. Alright, guys. This is funny, really. Mom. Okay, you guys, you're really starting to freak me out now. God damn it! I don't know how you did this. But I think you did this. David Bohm's theory on holographic projection applied to Einstein's theories on time and the third dimension. A senior thesis and university grant proposal. Imagine, if you will, a soft, wilted yellow rose is lifted out of the garbage and placed into a vase of clean water. The stem strengthens, and the petals begin to fold into a firm blossom. The stem is then trimmed and then wrapped in a soft green tissue. It is then carted in a bag to the grocery store, where it is packed and crated and then returned to the thorny bush. In this world, time flows backwards. In another world, in a small town just outside of Boston, a young writer and his professor sit quietly discussing his work. It is damp outside, and the hot coffee warms the students' worn and frigid insides. The armchairs they sit in position them comfortably in front of a large cherry wood framed window. It is the end of January, the coldest week of the season, and the student gazes out the window at a snow-heavy branch about to break. He decides, while sitting in his chair, to take a step towards his future, to reach beyond the window and feel the snow on the branch. For a moment in time, he reaches beyond the window, feels the snow on the branch, and then retreats in the great fear of the cold and uncertainty. He returns to the present moment, to his hot coffee, under the guidance of his professor. Much better, he thinks, for him to stop movement in time. And so, to this day, in the small coffee shop, the young man remains. His friends pass by, look him briefly to see him stop in this moment, and then continue on to the future at their own paces. In this world, time is a visible dimension. The future is as familiar to a person as his past. Successes, failures, love, marriage, all exist on a linear design, and one may look out as far as one chooses to do so. And so are my first two examples, based on the theories of time dimension introduced to us by Mr. Albert Einstein. They're gonna create holidays on me. National holidays. They're gonna get off from school because of me. And we're gonna be rich. We're gonna be so rich. Oh my God. And I'm gonna be on the cover of you. They're gonna have articles on me. And you guys too. Oh God, wait. Oh wait. Oh my God. Oh my God. Even the neighbors have stopped. The birds are frozen. Oh my God. Even the sun has stopped. I have stopped the sun. I have stopped photosynthesis. Do you know what this means? I have stopped the universe. Copernicus, eat your heart out, baby, because I'm the center of the universe now. Mom, we gotta celebrate. Because your girl did it. She did it, Mommy. She did it. She did. It is not so very important for a person to learn facts. But this he does not need a college. He can learn them from books. The value of an education at a liberal arts college is not the learning of many facts, but the training of the mind to think something that cannot be learned from textbooks. Unquote, 1920. Mr. Albert Einstein. I trust that you will help me, because for whatever reason I am here, or whatever it is I'm supposed to do, looks very hard. Please show me what to do. If you drop a pebble in a pond, ripples will spread out from the pebble in concentric circles. Drop 3 pebbles, and the circular waves they create will crisscross, making interference patterns on the water. Now imagine you could freeze this pond instantly, capturing the interference patterns in a moment of time. If you could break off a piece of that frozen pond, the interference patterns encoded in that chunk of ice would give you all the information you needed to calculate exactly where the 3 pebbles had fallen. I would like for you to keep this in the back of your minds. This paradigm will later represent the 3rd dimension. Yes, I did say 3rd dimension, that I believe is accessible to us in the very near future. Bohm suggested that the familiar world around us is similar to a holographic projection. And just as a hologram only seems to hover in space at a particular location, so the objects in our universe only seem to occupy certain specific localities. Because the totality of space is completely frozen, keep in mind my pebble metaphor, every location in the universe is completely equivalent to every other location. The very idea that space is separated by inches, miles, and light years is but an illusion. Time is another holographic illusion. It is our senses that tell us time proceeds in a progression from the past to the present to the future. But what if these 3 elements of time, past, present, future, are not separate distinct paradigms, that they themselves form interference patterns? In the hologram of time, it is my conjecture that interference patterns do exist and can be deciphered. Boy, were they having a sale today, Mom! You would not believe the stuff I found! And it was so great! Everyone there was just like you guys. Just like my family. Frozen. I just walked in, guard and out the door. And I put as much tissue paper as I wanted to, Mom, too. Okay, what first? Okay. All right, Mom. Remember those drapes you bought off of QVC, but you had to return them because Seth needed new clothes for school? Ta-da! Oh, wait. Are these beautiful, Mom? And they're from Macy's. And there's no receipt, so you can't return them. I got some for you too, baby. Okay, all right, wait. And don't you worry. I'm going to install it for you. But I guarantee you, anything I have in these little bags here is better than anything your little friend Matt might have at his house. The modem is 10 times faster than a 2880, and I've got at least 64 banks of memory right in this little bag. Oh. And I got something else for you. Okay, remember when someone threw your favorite toy in the lake because you aimed it for her head too many times? Don't move! This is a robbery! If any of you freaking pricks move, I'll execute every single one of you. Don't move, Seth. I said don't move. You get one just like this. Only it worked. You know, I used to think these things meant power. And the real ones too. But you know what power is, Seth? Especially on a man. I remember in 10th grade chem class, do you? Of course you do, Dad. I was in 10th grade chem class, and Howard Mel used my own fist to punch my upper lip. We'd been separated into 2 labs. Howard, myself, and these 3 other little girls, and then the rest of the class was put to the larger lab. I'm working on my wood alcohol project. Howard walks up to me, grabs my wrists, and he says, "If you make a move, I'll hit you." And I just looked at him. And I said, "Howard, what are you doing? Let me go." And he says it again, "If you make a move, I'll hit you." And I said, "Please, Howard, let me go." Bam! Right in the upper lip. Down on the floor I went. Sitting there. I just sat there, swollen. And then Miss Colker comes in 15 minutes later, and she sees me sitting there, and she goes, "McKenna, what happened?" And I said, "Ask Howard." And so she goes, "Howard, what happened?" And he didn't say anything. So then out the door she went. So I come home, Dad sees me, and he goes, "McKenna, what happened?" And I said, "I don't know, Dad, this guy, he felt like hitting me." "Well, when do you have this class, young lady?" "3rd period." So the next day, I'm sitting in chem class. Dad comes in, says, "Excuse me," and then walks right up to me, points to Howard, who's obviously the scrunchiest kid in class, and he goes, "Is that him?" "Yeah." "If you ever make a move towards my daughter again, I'll hit you." Have you ever seen dogs choke on their food? Dogs inhale their food, which makes them quite dramatic chokers. I've never seen anyone freeze as cold as Howard did that day. And that was it. He walked up to the front again, said, "Thank you," and out the door he went. Now that's power. That's control. This is fun again. All right, so, Mom, of course I went by a jewelry store for you. I went by Tiffany's because I know on a day like today, if I didn't take advantage of it, you'd be a sin. All right, I'm going to let you guess. What is almost as heavy as a phone, almost as beautiful as you, and costs about as much as our house? Pear-shaped or square-shaped, these rocks don't lose their shape because diamonds are a girl's best friend. Mom, I wish you could see them on you. You look absolutely beautiful. You know, I looked all over the store for that brooch. They had a ton of brooches in jade, but they didn't have any in the shape of a butterfly. How much did we get for that brooch again? Well, it was enough to buy me a winter coat, Seth, a Radio Shack computer, and Dad. Dad, how do you think Mom was able to buy that stainless steel watch that you wear every day to work? Or that Italian leather briefcase that you bring to work every day? We had Christmas that year, Dad, because of that brooch. So the next time you decide to ask your wife, Dad, where her jewelry is, why don't you take a nice long look at your wrist? They told you. Sorry, Dad. Sorry. You were not supposed to find out this way. Two dimensions are relatively accepted and conceivable by the human mind at this point. They are the human life plane and the spiritual plane. Yes, I did say spiritual. There is tangible evidence that a spiritual life force, not experienced by the five senses, if you will, is present and can be measured by technological means. What about this third dimension? This, my friends, is what Einstein called the time dimension. One I intend on breaking into on a measurable and recordable level. See, Einstein believed that speed was the only means by which time exploration was possible. I propose that if we could find a common frequency in the dimension of time, past, present, future, while in the dimension of the human plane, and somehow tap into the spiritual plane simultaneously, well, I believe that we will open the ability to control time inconceivable to the human brain as we now perceive it. I mean, the ability to jump time, or in fact, even have the power to stop it. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like for you to keep an open mind and to support the continuance of my research at this university. I believe that MIT is on the edge of an explosion in the fields of time exploration. I believe that we are on the edge of a discovery by a woman that up until now has remained untamed until now. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time and cooperation. Did you get it? Did you understand it? Because, you know, it's taken me a while to understand why you've been encouraging me so much, you know? It's taken me a while to figure out this game. You know, I would like to take a moment to thank you. Yeah, if you don't mind. I would like to thank you for your endless support, your dauntless encouragement. Yeah, thank you, Professor Burgess back there. I would like to thank you for constantly encouraging me and turning me into the next science theorist guru, just like all of you. And just like all of you, I have no idea if it snowed during the month of January. And just like all of you, I have no idea if Baskin-Robbins has come out with a 32nd or 33rd flavor. Titanic was the last movie I saw, and that's because my roommate has the emotional intelligence of a 10-year-old, and she plays it over and over and over and over again. I have no idea, just like all of you, how my family is. Can't call Mom, gotta go to class, gotta go to the library. Besides, what's the point? Mom doesn't know anything about heats and fluids. I have no idea if my little brother has facial yet, because this is all I do. Study dead people's theories and shit my brains out over it. Well, you know what? I figured it out. It's simple. I know why I'm here. I know that I'm filling a precious quota. I know that I'm a valuable commodity because, yeah, there are only 3 other girls in this physics department. But you know what? You know what? I forgive you, okay? I forgive you. Because of bureaucratic, chauvinistic, number-oriented people like you, we have a generation of very angry people to look forward to. And maybe 2 generations of people that don't give a shit. Well, thanks, but no thanks. You can keep the fucking money for the grant. I'm gonna work on my grand illusions at home. Was either a vindictive, calculated event, or sudden wanton stupidity on your daughter's part. It is with highest regard for your daughter's previous successes before this event that we ask you to remove your daughter immediately, or mandatory expulsion will be made into effect. It is with great concern that we advise you to seek psychological treatment before it is too late. Professor Burgess, Dean of MIT Physics Department. So which was it, Dad? Was it what I actually did, or was it the fact that the dean had to use your daughter over and over again that pissed you off? Your daughter fucked up, Dad. How about that? You know, it's about time it hurts. It's about time you feel something towards me. You know what this is the result of? This is the result of too many unsaid things in this household. Too many superficial dinner conversations. Well, you know what? I'm going to put an end to that right now. Why don't we start with you, Mom? Oh, I got a subject. How about Mom's cooking? Dad, did you know that you love Luigi's Italian gourmet place? You love their baked ziti, their lasagnas, their pizzas even sometimes, Dad. And you don't even know it. You've never even been there. That's because sometimes Mom's precious home-cooked meals are sometimes takeout. Except your son, Dad. Your son is Have you ever noticed that our set never goes out on dates? Oh, but he never misses a single basketball game or wrestling match. It's not because of the cheerleaders. Oh, Dad! Oh, I don't mean to leave you out of this. I had so much fun reading these. Why don't we have a family reading session right now? Let's see. What's this all about? Well, we got articles, some advertisements, and oh, what's this? Oh, we got pictures too, and a personal interview. Name, Jody Ann Patterson. Bust, 32D. Birthday, July 31st, 1977. Birthplace, Tacoma. Let's see. Ambitions, to be happy, healthy, and pursue my modeling and acting. Turn-ons, romantic music, French accents, and battle blues. Dad, do the personal interviews make them more attractive? Let's see. Words to live by. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Oh, dumb slut. How dare you? Repeat the words of that man and I'll give him credit. No. How dare you quote Albert Einstein while we look at pictures of your shaped water? Where did she go to school? Because I'm finding that Playboy likes to go to college campuses. Was it Stanford or Cornell? Oh, that's right. She lives in Tacoma. Pursuing her modeling and acting career in Tacoma. Because you know they have a huge industry out there in Tacoma. Dad, what if I had been one of these girls? Not necessarily the cooking you part, but Dad, what if all I wanted at age 19 was to be happy, healthy, and pursue a new modeling career? How would you feel about me then, huh? I mean, suppose I had been a centerfold. Would you walk down the street in shame? Or would you share me with all the guys at work? if all I wanted to do, Dad, was pick fruit all day? Or what if all I wanted to do was teach kindergartners about precipitation and the animal kingdom, and cut sunflowers out of construction paper, draw rainbows all day, and glue popsicle stick houses? I could have done that. I really could have done that, Dad, and been happy. But that wouldn't have made you proud, no. I mean, who's proud of a kindergarten teacher? Certainly not you. No, to attempt to make you happy, Dad. I went ahead and I graduated from high school early. Dad, do you have any idea what it's like to be 16 on a college campus? No. No, you don't. To not be taken seriously because you are the newest and youngest freak on campus, but at the same time to have your brain picked and prodded at because of it, and to never have sleep and to work 20 hours a day, and to discover masturbating, Dad, as you finish page 121 of your quantum physics textbook because you've only got one friend, and all she does is listen to R.E.M. all day and cook with the same vegetable oil that she stores in a vat under her bed. Dad, you know, Dad, to bring my point around full circle, why don't I bring up the greatest unsaid thing in this household? How about the fact that when I was born, my room was painted blue and not pink? The fact that when I was one, I wore t-shirts and baseball caps instead of dresses. You know, Mom said that it was when you found out your eldest child was to be a girl, that's when you disconnected yourself from me. But Dad, there's a 22-year-old secret that floats around this house as if he were flesh and blood. And I am tired of competing with him, Dad. You didn't think I knew, did you? No. No, how couldn't I know, Dad? I found pictures of him last summer, okay? He was around for about 6 months, right? And he is really cute, Dad. I'm sure that he would have grown up to be a football player by now, or maybe a big executive. Or maybe, Dad, he would have liked the sciences like me. Or maybe he would have loved toy guns and wrestling like me. Or maybe, Dad, he wouldn't have shamed you at MIT like me. But I'm the living one, Dad. And sometimes I have hated you for missing him more than wanting me. You know, Dad, there's this quote, this universal truth that Einstein was quoted, and it was in a letter to a friend, March 20th, 1920. He says, my mother has died. You're all completely exhausted. One realizes the significance of one's blood ties. Well, I don't know my blood ties, Dad! Why do you think I came home for a break, for a vacation? You know, Dad, whenever I talk to you, it's always, that's nice. Here's your mother. Dad, Mom can't be the only one to say it. I need to hear you say it. I need to hear you say, Dad, that you're proud of me, okay? That's it. That you're happy with who I am. Hearing you say that would mean more to me than anything, Dad. Than anything. Even a degree from MIT. Actually, Dad, hearing you say that about me instead of my work. Mom! Oh my God! Mom! John! Mom, go get an ambulance, Mom! Go! Zach, go get the car! Go! Dad, hey! Dad, I'm right here. Okay? I'm right here. All right, just breathe, Dad, okay? And hey, Dad, I'm right here, okay? Stay with me. Hey, look, we're gonna take deep breaths, okay? Ready? Okay, help, so you're gonna be okay, okay? Just listen to my voice, okay? Dad, I'm sorry about the MIT thing, okay? I'm sorry, Dad. But you know what? Screw it. Screw it, Dad. Because you and I, we're gonna start over. You and I, Dad. We're gonna start over, okay? Dad? Dad? Oh, stay with me, Dad. Holmes suggested that the familiar world around us is similar to a holographic projection, but just as a hologram only seems to hover in space at a particular location, so the objects in our universe only seem to occupy certain specific localities. Because the totality of space is completely frozen, every location in the universe is equivalent to every other location. The very idea that space is separated by inches, miles, and light years is but an illusion. Time is another holographic illusion. It is our senses that tell us time